I saw that.
What's going on, y'all? This is one of a series of rallies that's probably happening this weekend. You may know of the bigger ones that might be happening in, say, Atlanta or Chicago or New York or LA or what have you. This one is in Newark, New Jersey. It's the latest series of ones. I'm going to be live streaming the first few speeches that you'll see, some speeches, and I'm going to get a bit of the march. I probably will not do the entire thing, but I just want to make sure this was documented, and I'll just give you an idea of what it looks like around here. Let me just take a look. Right now, it's just no one has gotten into the staging area here, but you can definitely see we got people here that are coming out for Tyre, and it's not just coming out for Tyre, it's coming out for all of us. It's really just reminding. I mean, we just keep on coming up with more and more names to be put on the list. I'll give you an example of what we're talking about. Like this brother right here. You take a look at this sign right here. How you doing, man? Now, you make
Some of these names on here are over 25 years old.
I was just about to make that point.
Yeah.
25 years now. I mean, you take a look at it. You got
Latino brothers on here too.
Baez. Oh man, what was his name? First name? What was his?
Anthony Baez.
Anthony Baez. Abner Luimo.
Yeah.
Abner Luima. I mean, Amadou Diallo. I got thrown off for the Patrick Dorsman. Eleanor Bumpers. Eleanor Bumpers goes back. Never mind 25 years. That's about 30 years.
I remember when the day they shot her.
Yeah, because that goes back to what, 85?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe before. Yeah, Eleanor Bumpers.
Era Faison.
They were evicting her from her apartment and she tried to defend herself. Shotgun came in. Sullivan was the cop that shot her. He shot her with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Blew her arm off first and then hit her in the chest with the next shot.
And it was one of the first ones where we really said enough is enough. Not really one of the first ones, but you know, when we said we're just going to keep up the momentum on this one.
Then they had that 12-year-old boy that they killed in Jamaica, Queens, too.
Oh, man.
Shot him.
And then it's Philip Pinnell out of Teaneck,
Yeah.
New Jersey. So,
It's the same old game. It's got to change.
except it's not a game anymore. It's never been a game.
Yeah,
So,
it's got to stop.
and I see Ferguson, but we're not even talking about Ferguson as in the town, are we? So, and then we got the name that a lot of people already know. I'm about to do some walking so they can see what I'm talking about here. All right, thank you. Now, if I walk over here, you will see we got people lined up on the street. I'm trying to cross the street so you can see the signs, but I don't want to die. So, hey, thank you. I could probably do it here. This will be best. Let me go over here. Just so people can see exactly what it is we're looking at. Sorry. There's a placard for Janique Lowry. But this is what we see. We see, if you look here, we're looking at Mr. Farrell, Walker. Pardon me, this thing is on a tripod, so bear with me here. So, this is what we see. Say there's a good 50, 60 people here today. Bear with me, I'm gonna check to see if I can get see the chat. I don't see a chat. So that's okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. for this, I'm gonna hide all chat messages because if any of our knuckleheads feel that they need to act stupid, I can't see the chats and I can't bounce them off while I'm filming. So when this, and let's face it, I don't like Nazis on my feeds. So if you don't mind, bear with me here. I don't like Nazis on my feed. So frankly, if you guys want to talk on your own damn websites, all right? So I'm gonna go across the street in a minute. I guess we're rocking and rolling. We're waiting for everything to go to pop off. Larry Ham is still interviewing. Larry Ham, the head of People's Organization for Progress. People's Organization for Progress is the organization that put all this together. And once he hits the staging area, you can hear all the horns. You can hear all the horns. They're gonna come through. So we got more people coming actually. See, I don't want to stop because I want to keep this going, but all I'll do is just start it back up again. Beep beep YouTube. Then we get across the street before they decide to come up this way. You can see actually. No police, citizen, clergy patrol across the street. You see, so Larry's still definitely doing his interviews. It was supposed to start around noon, but
Chairman.
Okay, I think we're gonna get started. So. It is what it is. I mean, but we will be starting. We will be starting soon. Because asking the chairman, aka Chairman Haynes, to come up. So as soon as he's done talking with the reporter, I guess we're going to get started. So I'm just gonna keep everything going. Everything's just gonna be aimed right there, right here. So I'll just talk. I'll just wait and just wait for everybody to get rocking and rolling. That's all. Looks like Larry is now getting ready to get on stage to do his thing. So we're just going to be trained on what it is they're doing in the next, for the next. Well, this is what we're here for. Let's do it.
How you doing, Anna? Anna Marta? You think I recognize you? Not virtual.
Hey, what's going on? Let's make sure that we got this well documented.
Let's go. We got some signs up, y'all. Get them signs up.
Steve Hatcher, we need the banner that says pass police review board legislation. Where is it? Yeah, bring that down. And we need somebody to get this sign. Why Sharon gotta have a sign and a flag? We need somebody to hold the flag. We need Sharon hold that banner. We need somebody to hold the flag. Steve, we need somebody to hold the flag. We need somebody to hold the flag.
One on one end.
Bring that stop police brutality sign right there. Because if I stand here, they can't see it. So bring it. You understand what I'm saying? Bring it down.
I'm gonna have to stand up.
Move over a little bit, Sharon, so they can. No, move toward me. Y'all stay right there. Come on, right here. Yeah, right here. And we need this one. Bring this one down.
Carl Dorsey.
Yes, thank you. Very important. Carl Dorsey. Yeah. Stand right here. Next. Move over. No, brother. Move. Yeah, no, let her come in. Yeah, let her come in. Yeah. Stand behind her, Imani. There you go. Yes.
Steps to help. Steps.
All right. Okay. Come up here. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, come up. Come up. Go up another step. There you go. No, you're not you. You stay there. There you go. Don't make me say something. Is that better? You can get everybody in now? Is Medina here? But Valerie is here. Is Merlene here? Rick Wilby is here. I wish I really want somebody else to hold this. Where's Steve? Come on over, Steve. I need you to hold this. This is very important. It's the little one, but it's very important. In fact, come over, Steve. Come down here. Yeah. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. If there ain't gonna be no justice, there ain't gonna be no peace. If there ain't gonna be no justice, there ain't gonna be no peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Stop police brutality. In the black community. 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 Tyre. 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 Carl. 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 No justice. No justice. No justice. Jail the killer cops. Jail the killer cops. Jail the killer cops. Thank you. Glad that people have come out today to this rally to demand justice for Tyre Nichols, who was beaten to death by 5 Memphis police officers. We're here today to demand justice for Carl Dorsey, who was unarmed when he was shot to death by a Newark police officer. And this week, after 2 years of silence about this case, the grand jury came forward and failed to indict the officer that shot and killed unarmed Carl Dorsey. We're here today to demand justice for Tyre Nichols and for Carl Dorsey. And although the officers that beat and caused the death of Tyre Nichols have been charged, we're not satisfied.
That's right.
We will not be satisfied until those officers are convicted for murder and kidnapping and assault, the charges that they were charged with. All right. And while we find solace in the fact that the criminal justice system moved swiftly to arrest and charge these 5 officers, we would like to see it move as swiftly in charging white officers as they have these 5 black officers. All right. I'm 69 years old. I've been in the movement for 50 years. And in 50 years, I have no memory. Someone can correct me. Maybe there's a historian in the crowd. I have no memory of officers involved in a police brutality case being fired, terminated, arrested, and charged 2 weeks after the incident. That has never happened before. It has never happened before. It has never happened before. But we're glad it has happened. What they did to Tyre was wrong, and they should be convicted for what they did to Tyre Nichols. But there has to be one system of justice for everybody. There can't be one system of justice for the police and one system of justice for the rest of us. They can't be, the criminal justice system can't act one way toward black police officers and another way toward white police officers. It's got to be the same across the board. We call for the dissolution of that unit called the Scorpion Unit. We call for the dissolution of the Scorpion Unit. But more than that, what we are demanding today is police accountability. The police continue to kill with impunity. It's been 2 years since the death of George Floyd, and it seems that some police learned nothing from the death of George Floyd, the conviction of Derek Chauvin, and the other 3 officers that were involved in the murder of George Floyd. It seems that they've learned nothing from that. Why do they continue to kill with impunity? Because they know that they are probably not likely to face any consequences for engaging in police brutality. 99% of police brutality cases don't even go to trial. And then only about 2% of those actually end up with any type of penalty toward the officers. We're here today to say that there must be civilian control, community control of the police in the United States of America. And we call on the New Jersey State Legislature. We call on the New Jersey State Legislature in the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd. There were bills introduced to reform policing in this state. There were bills introduced in Congress to reform policing in this country. Why were those bills introduced? Because millions of people had come out to protest across this country and around this world to demand justice for George Floyd. We have to keep the pressure on. The demonstrations went away, and there hasn't been any action on any of those reforms. We call on the state legislature of New Jersey to pass a 1515 that will enable municipalities to create police review boards with subpoena power, investigatory power in the state of New Jersey. There must be civilian control of the police. There must be civilian oversight and community control. And more than that, we want the other bills passed. We want an end to qualified immunity. That's another reason why they're not convicted. We want an end to chokeholds. We want an end to no-knock warrants. We want transparency. Their records should be public. They shouldn't be able to be brutalize people in one town and then go and get a job in another town because we can't look at their records. No, we want all of those police reform bills passed. Now. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? We have with us today Valerie Dale, who is the sister of Major Gulia Dale III, who was killed by police in Newton, New Jersey. Here's a man that had a distinguished career in the United States Army. I believe he did 3 tours of duty in Iraq, only to return home and be shot to death by police in his own hometown on the 4th of July. Give Valerie a hand. Come on, Valerie.
I want this injustice to stop. The police need to be held accountable for what they do. We need transparency in all these police departments across the state. My brother should still be here. He served this country well, only to be murdered in the same country that he protected. Newton, New Jersey police needs to be looked at. The police department needs to be looked at. All the officers, all the administration needs to be looked at. What's going to happen when my brother's case go to grand jury? These police officers have not been seen. Have you seen their faces in social media? Like you saw the pictures of Tyre Nichols, cop killers? No. Why are these white police officers being protected like this? Why are they hiding them? Their faces need to be plastered as well. I want this to stop. I mean, we need this to end now. Justice for Guliadale III.
Justice for Guliadale III. We have some other folks here, activists who've been fighting on this issue of police brutality. I'm going to ask Zaid Muhammad from Newark Communities for Accountable Policing to make some remarks. Zaid, give Brother Zaid a hand. Stop police brutality. Stop police brutality. Stop police brutality.
Stop police brutality.
Stop police brutality.
Stop police brutality.
Very briefly, just to build on what was just said by Adema, with love to Valerie, love to Carl Dorsey's family. See, press, I want you to understand this. New Jersey is in no moral position to point to Memphis, or to point to Minneapolis, or to point to any other of these cities where we hear about these outrageous acts of police brutality, when New Jersey has not shown one iota of will whatsoever to address the question of police brutality right here in this state. Carl Dorsey was killed right here in Newark on videotape. Jerome Reed was killed in Bridgeton, New Jersey on videotape. Guliadale, wife called for help on the 4th of July. You can't make this up. And they took him out in 12 seconds. However, only a few months before, same town, same police department, an elderly white vet, 82 years old, in a mental health crisis, not just with a weapon, but fired upon the police as they approached. They took every precaution, quartered off the area, did all the escalations, did all the negotiation, took that man in without firing a single shot or harming a hair on his head. Why? How come they couldn't do for Major Guliadale what they did for that white man? And why is that not leading the discussion around police violence here in the state of New Jersey? And by the way, after George Floyd, we marshaled dozens of people up and down this state, black, white, young, and old, to testify in the assembly in support of the Civilian Review Board bill, which would have given New Jersey the strongest civilian oversight in the country before a Democratic assembly. And some Democrat, whose name happens to be Giblin, and who happens to be from this community in the West Orange area, pulled it without a peep. There should have been outrage, not just from the community, but within the ranks of the so-called Democratic Party of New Jersey itself. So let us not allow the hypocrisy of Democrats and of elected officials in this state and in towns like this to get away with their hypocrisy and deal with racial profiling, police brutality right here, All power to the people. Stop police brutality. Stop police brutality. Stop police brutality.
Thank you, Zaid. Give him a big hand. We also came here today to condemn the decision of the grand jury, which failed to return indictments against the officer that shot and killed unarmed Carl Dorsey. It is an indisputable fact. This is a fact observed by all sides that Carl Dorsey was unarmed when he was shot and killed by Detective Rod Simpkins. No one disputes that. That was even cited in the official statement that came out of the State Attorney General's office. So if it's undisputed that Carl Dorsey was unarmed when he was shot at near point blank range by Officer Simpkins, then why hasn't anyone been indicted? Some have said, well, the grand jury has made a decision, the matter is closed. As far as we are concerned, the case of Carl Dorsey is still open, and we will not rest until we get justice for Carl Dorsey. And today, in this place, I call upon the United States Attorney for New Jersey, Attorney Selinger, to immediately launch a civil rights investigation into the death of Carl Dorsey. The U.S. Attorney's office is literally a quarter of a mile from here. He's here, he's headquartered in New Jersey. The U.S. Attorney held an open forum at Mount Zion Church at the end of November. And many of us were there, and we presented the case of Carl Dorsey to the U.S. Attorney, to his staff, and we asked them then to launch a civil rights investigation. We still have not heard from the U.S. Attorney, but we still demand that the U.S. Attorney launch a civil rights investigation into the death of Carl Dorsey. Now, I saw one of our council people was here, Councilwoman, three council people are here. Is Councilwoman Louise Scott Roundtree still here? Would she like to make a statement, Councilman Roundtree? Does she want to make a statement? Okay. All the council people can come forward if you want. All the council people, there are council people here from Newark. Who? Councilwoman Kelly, Councilman Kelly, Councilwoman MacGyver, and Councilwoman Roundtree. They can all make statements. Come over here, Councilwoman. Okay.
No justice? No justice? We don't get no justice? I can't hear y'all. We don't get no justice? Ain't gonna be no peace. Well, y'all know I serve a just God. And as I stand here today with Brother Ham, who's been on this journey for a very long time, we have a mayor that's been on this journey. We have people out here that's been on this journey. All of these folks behind me that's been on this journey. I'm a mother. I got a 28-year-old son. And when I saw what was done to Tyre Nichols, listen, let me tell you something. This is such a heart-wrenching situation. I said something to one of the women that were asking me questions. White supremacy is real. It's real. And some of us have internalized. See the color of my skin? I'm a black woman. But some of our black brothers and sisters have internalized, which is why we've got 5 brothers who are somebody's son that's getting ready to go
could you not see when you're looking down at a face? A face. Listen, I don't talk black or white, I talk humanity. Because we're all human beings. And we all deserve respect. And we all deserve justice. So I don't look at you because you're black and say, well, you shouldn't or you should. I look at you and say, it ought to be because you are a human being. Justice is done. It should be done. Justice should be served. So whatever happened to those brothers, it's got to be what they deserve because of what they did. Just like what happened to George Floyd. The problem is it took longer to get justice for Floyd than it's taken for this young man. Kudos to the chief. Because she immediately, and that should always be. But what's sad is we got families now throughout this country that are consistently going through these circumstances. God, I pray for Tyre Nichols' mother and family. I pray for the families of those officers. I pray for injustices being done throughout this country. Oh, we can talk about Sandra Bland, and we got a whole, listen, we'll be out here all day with Larry Ham, because he got them all in his mind. He can sit here and call every name, almost in every state, almost in every city throughout this country, that injustices have been done to. But today, we talk about Tyre Nichols. So let us just lift up, say it with me, Tyre Nichols. Tyre Nichols. Listen, let's continue to call the names of those, and we have ancestors that are watching over us, that we pray that some way on the hearts of these people that are doing what they're doing. I don't know if I'll live to see it. I don't know if anybody out here will live to see it. But I pray that one day, the justice that has to be done to the people who are creating these instances and these circumstances, that God will move on the minds and the hearts of these people, because karma's real and it's coming back. God bless you all. Thank you, Brother Ham.
Councilman Dupre Kelly is here from the West Ward. Councilwoman LaMonica MacGyver from the Central Ward is here. Give them a hand. Councilwoman MacGyver said that they had nominated Councilwoman Roundtree to speak for all three of them. I see there's some religious leaders here. Are there any religious leaders that would like to speak? I know there are a number of religious leaders that are here. A number of pastors are here. Are there any of the pastors that want to speak? Okay. This is a young minister. Give the young minister a hand.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're talking about Sandra Bland. We're talking about Trayvon Martin, Jonathan Farrell, Jordan Davis, Walter Scott, Ricky Boyd, Antoine Rose Jr., James Johnson, Freddie Gray, Tamar Rice, Amir McCray, Breonna Taylor. The list goes on. Stephon Clerk, Alton Sterling, Laquan McDaniel, Michael Brown. We're talking about all these people out here today. Not only because of what's going on in the world, because we also have other people, young people like me, 23 years old, living in an area where now we have to navigate and deal with the senses of the things that's going on in people's mind, mentally and physically, because of the simple fact of what they're dealing with, what they're going through, and to live in a world, to wake up every morning, to look on the news to see another black young brother my age, another black young king my age, another black young sister my age. And you know, it's draining, it's tiring, and somewhere between the line, not only are we out here to protest for what happened, but we also out here to protest to make our vote and our noise, because of the simple fact that life has to go on, and we cannot stop here. There is more justice that needs to be given. There is more than just us coming together. There is something else that we need to do as a black young community, and I'm standing out here. I might be the only young person out here today, but I'm standing out here fighting for my young people each and every day because of the simple fact, the color of my skin. Martin Luther King said it the best. I would not be judged by by my character, but by the continent of my skin. And my brothers and sisters, I just want to let you know, you pray for these families, because one day this could have been somebody else in the city of Newark. This could have been one of your brothers or one of your sisters. So let's give peace and let's give justice. Pray for these families, because now you have to deal with a mother who has to deal on how to bury her son. Now you have to deal with a family members coming together to see how they're going to have injustice and without the peace, because of the simple fact of what's going on. It started in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's still continuing to go on. And so all I say to you, my black brothers and kings, on this morning and on this afternoon, do what is right. Do what is right. Fight. Continue to fight. Don't give up now. Don't stop now, because this is not the end of our story. This is not the end of our journey. We have to continue to keep on going. We got to continue to go. This is not ours. This is not our destination. There is something greater for us. And the black, and the way that they want us, this is the way that they want to see us. Let me just be honest. This is what they want us to do. This is what they want us to act. But if you don't give them something to act on, how can we change what we're doing? How can we have a great mindset? We have to come out and fight. This is not the end of the journey, and I think that's it. I said what I needed to say. My name is Malik Stewart, a resident of Newark, New Jersey.
Pastor Malik. All right.
Pastor Hicks is coming.
Introduce yourself, Pastor.
Pastor William Hicks Sr., Whole Life World Changing Church, Newark, New Jersey. I start out by saying, I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. As a follower of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and knowing as my word says, he that knoweth not love knoweth not God, for God is love. Brothers and sisters, I could only watch 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the video because my heart was so broken. And what I saw in those 3 minutes and 10 seconds was more than enough, because I saw how they dehumanized Tyre Nichols, how they made no effort to de-escalate. As more officers came on the scene, instead of de-escalating the situation, they escalated the situation with violence that came from a position of hate. Now, I'm not going to analyze whether it was self-hatred or hatred for the people or hatred for whatever, but hate is what fueled that situation. Hate was what escalated that situation, and hate is why we're here today. Brothers and sisters, I'm angry, I'm hurt, but I'm not discouraged, and I'm not disillusioned, because I know that only love can conquer hate. I have a t-shirt at home. I don't have it on now, but I'll tell you what it says. It says, be the change you want to see in the world. If we want to see more love, then we have to move with love. We have to speak with love. We have to act with love. We have to. Each and every one individually and all of us collectively must become our brother's keeper. We must become our sister's keeper. We cannot do it all by ourselves. But don't let that be a reason to not do anything. The saying says that no one can do everything, but everybody can do something. Where do I start, Pastor? Start where you're at. Start where you're at. Start acting in love. Start speaking in love where you're at. Get involved in politics. If you don't like the way the politicians are moving, then you take that office and you do the right thing. You don't like the way the police are moving, then you become a police officer and you do the right thing. You can work more from the inside than you can from the outside. Yeah, these protests are great. Well, the late, great Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. said, protest is our greatest weapon. He said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. But one of my favorite sayings of the late, great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is, I choose love because hate is too heavy a burden to bear. I'm done.
Amen. I choose love because hate is too great a burden to bear. Are you ready to march? Are you ready to march? You ready to march? We're going to just hear from two people. We're going to hear from Keelan Scott. Him and his wife, Winnie, were victims of police brutality in Fort Lee, New Jersey. So come on, Keelan. Give Keelan a hand.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I was a victim of police brutality in Fort Lee, New Jersey, where my brother-in-law was deceased. We found out my brother-in-law was deceased, and he was dead in Fort Lee, New Jersey, in front of the entire family, and his body was still there. And while his body was there, they attacked my wife and I and almost killed us. So I want everybody to understand that whatever you think the issue is in this country with police brutality, whether you think it's race, whether you think it's police versus us, whether you think it's training, whatever you think it is, there's one thing that will solve this entire problem. And that one thing is making sure that the police know that they will go to jail whenever they violate any of our rights. Whichever you believe about this issue here, there's one key, and that is accountability. Whatever you believe, we need to make sure that these police are held accountable. That means that we need to make sure that these police go to jail or minimally are fired whenever they violate our Fourth Amendment, or they kill us, or whatever they do. We need to start with putting away police that have not been indicted yet, that have not been fired yet for doing these things. This is elementary. If we do not put away the cops that killed Car Dorsey, it'll send a message to the other police to kill other people. If we do not put away the police that assaulted my wife and I, that were over 10 of them, then they will continue to do so. You see and you do what you were taught. You were taught to continue to misbehave because you are taught that you will not be disciplined. Disciplined means to be fired or put in jail. We could train all we want. We could tell them to do all we want. But if we don't make them do what they're trained to do by putting them and giving them a consequence, they are going to continue to do so. So when we march, we are marching for accountability. We're against racism, but we need to march and remember that we can't just march this one time. Whatever you hear, anybody you hear that has a problem with police, videotape it, record it. And if you see anything wrong, speak about it. Go and tell the perpetrator they are wrong. Tell the perpetrators, chief, they are wrong. Join something. Do not just do this for one day, for 1 second. Continue to press against the officers that are doing wrong themselves. If you have to call them themselves, call the precinct, call their bosses, call the chief, call the prosecutor, because you are next. Goodbye.
Thank you. In Englewood, New Jersey, and Rick is our last speaker. In Englewood, New Jersey, Bernard Placide was shot and killed by Englewood police. One of the community advocates and organizers in Englewood is Rick Wilby. He's been fighting for justice for Bernard Placide. Give him a hand, Rick.
All right, thank you everybody for being out here. Everybody's talking about Dr. King, but I want to just quote something from Emperor Haile Selassie I that spoke in front of the UN General Assembly, and Bob Marley made a song out of it. It's called War. He said, until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, there'll be war. We are at war. Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes, I got to say war. And until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regards to race, I say war. Okay? And until that day that the basic human rights are delivered to us as people, we'll be at war. And in closing, Bob Marley said in the end of that song, we Africans will fight if we find it necessary. This is what America knows, and this is what they haven't anticipated, because they keep underestimating the people that they've oppressed. But we could march and talk all we want. Eventually, we are going to have to go to war with this country, and they know it's coming. Okay? And there will be peace once the war is over. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, we're going to march. Steve, let Steve take the Stop Police Brutality banner. Let Steve take that one. Steve, you be the front. Go to the lamp, to the pole, to the pole. We will have more speakers when we come back. I'm going to ask Anna Martivitsky from Our Revolution. You gonna hold? If you want to. You sick. You need to zip your coat up.
We ran for about an hour, and I'm glad we were able to do this.
This is my daughter. That's my daughter. We need somebody to carry the flag. We're gonna march single file. Right behind Steve.
That's it for us.
No, I'll do it when we come back. I'll do it when we come back. I don't want to do it now. I'll do it when we come back. Right.
Take care, y'all. I'll see you next time.
Are you